Hello and welcome to another album review. Today we'll be going over Ben Monder's Amorphia, an album released through ECM Records, and I really wanted to purchase it in a physical format, preferably vinyl. But here in Florida, ECM is very hard to come by, especially if you're going to a store and purchasing it that way. So I really didn't have any outlet to do that. So I was relegated to buy it through Google's music format, which I don't know, maybe it helped me out in the long run. The first time I'd actually listened to this record, it was on headphones riding in my car to work. It was very early in the morning, and the first thing that really hit me with this record is, it's jazzy, but at the same time it has this sort of epic feel that maybe a lot of jazz releases do not. Though ECM in general does have an amazing catalog of jazz artists or world musicians that take this jazz format, twist it, and come out with something totally brilliant and amazing. And Ben Monder does that with this record. To kind of get into it, there's this overall sound of amazing reverb. Not in the sense that, you might find on a rockabilly or surf music. More like explosions in the sky where everything is just so spread out and dense, and it echoes with you, and it makes this amazing soundscape. And it doesn't really let up through the entire album. But the interesting thing about it is, with this record, is that it's a slow building record. It kind of gives you this sense of isolation. And then when you listen to it, you feel these isolated strands of chords that are just kind of popping out at you like little sparks, which is very cool. They weave and intertwine and just pummel your subconscious with these titillating little advanced harmonies and beautiful melodies, and then it slowly starts to build into these epic explosions that you're just going to be baffled as to how it came out of this isolation or darkness into this amazing, brilliant light. Another thing to note with this record is it's for the most part, listening to it, it's probably about 58 minutes of music, maybe a little bit more or less. It's mostly Ben Monder, just giving you all that he has in his musical vocabulary, stretched into this epic long album where it feels almost as though it's one song. And that's probably not correct in the truest sense either, because Ben Monder is a beast when it comes to soloing on a guitar and showing you these amazing chops that will melt your face off, but not with this record. This is totally something separate, embryonic within Ben Monder. I think he had the thought in mind to give you an album that was going to be truly different from anything that you'd be hearing a modern jazz guitar player doing nowadays. You guys like Kurt Rosenwinkel and Julian Lage that are amazing, but this is not guitar wankery in a sense. This isn't something that's going to show you these amazing chops and shreds and how many notes you could fit within a chord, or how many 16th notes you could pummel out within an hour. That's not what this record's about. This record is mostly about, as the title stands true, it's something small going into something so much larger. It's an anamorphic state that truly just opens your eyes to the entire record as a whole. A lot of jazz musicians nowadays, they don't take the time as you know, I would say with Ben Monder, to create something that is not, in a sense, because this album is instantly gratifying. From the first time I heard it, I really did enjoy it and love it. But the thing of it is that it pulls you in a different kind of way. You know, it pulls you in the sense that it's more of intrigue. It's not, this album is not a slow burner. It doesn't need multiple listens to kind of get into. This is a record that you're going to want to put on when you're searching maybe in yourself or expanding your own self. You know, it has these moments where these beautiful melodies will pop in there and then disappear. You know, so you're thinking like the entire time, well, I'd really like to hear that melody. And in so doing, where you hear that melody, you're the one that causes yourself to do the multiple listens or however you want to do it. It has this unbelievable ambience to it that underlines just this mystique and soulful journey that, though a lot of records do, a lot of them can't pull it off for 58 minutes. And Ben Monder does it. Another standout, when he finally does come in, because for forever and a day it seems as though there's no drums. There's just a guitar player and a synth player. And at first you don't even realize there's a synth player there, but Paul Motian comes in at some point, and he just really adds this almost tribal-like, and there's another drummer in there as well, let me add to that. There are two drummers, and their style of playing is just so primal and tribal. You know, it doesn't really, it really doesn't add a sense of upbeat that most jazz would. This is more like something where it twists and turns and interwinds into such a exotically executed and beautifully played album. You know, and I think that that's what I enjoyed most about it, is that it didn't need a drummer all the way through. It didn't need a bunch of instruments that that would have just detracted from the overall album. I think that the fact that they built it in an epic sort of way, you know, where it starts off with Ben Monder, then slowly cuts into, you know, with the synth, and then comes out the other end with the drummer, you know, it just, it siegs so well. It's an album that, you know, I can't praise enough for the fact that it really is mind-changing. And I really wish this album would have got a lot more coverage, and I really wish Ben Monder would have got a lot more coverage in general, because if a lot more artists took their time to build records like this, they would have, you know, such an amazing array of experience. You know, I mean, to think that, you know, Ben Monder took the time to create a record where things crescendo and slowly dissipate, and, you know, and make it sieg so well. And I'm assuming that a lot of this was probably improvised, though I'm not sure, you know, how the recording did go, because I don't have any linear notes or anything on it. But if that is the case, you know, this is truly a rock hard testament to, you know, the genius and cunning of Ben Monder. He's only got four or five solo albums to his name right now, though he's played on everything, you know, under the sun, almost every artist, and he is the guitar player, or one of the guitar players, for David Bowie's last album, of Black Star. Really the unsung hero of that album, I think. And I think if you enjoyed Black Star and kind of enjoyed where Bowie was going with that record, this record again will blow your mind and kind of add a bookend to that record. It's you know, to hear Ben Monder, and I didn't even know that he played on Black Star till after I had purchased this record. I never purchased Black Star, and maybe that might be a fault in itself on me. But when you hear it here, and then you hear David Bowie's Black Star, you could definitely hear where David Bowie might have been influenced to kind of spread out a little bit as far as vocally, and maybe that inner journey that Ben Monder kind of puts forth in his record playing kind of maybe touched David Bowie a little bit, though I'm sure he would never admit that, you know. But it makes me smile because I think it did. You know, it influenced me. If I was a singer, that's the way I would have gone with this. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and please leave a comment below if you have anything to add. And we hope to hear from you all soon. Have a great day.